Hey, welcome to How to Build Your Own Home. I want to talk about a nightmare or a difficult thing. This here is a difficult thing. And sometimes we run into these. I've got a culvert real close to the driveway of this home that we built. And what's funny is the culvert was put at an angle like this because when they first did the subdivision, maybe 30, 40 years ago, they didn't think there used to be a catch basin here. And they thought, let's just go over there and catch the catch basin and make it easy for ourselves and not have to trench over there to redirect the creek. So as a result, it's now encroaching on the property here. I've got to give the county permitting office an encroachment permit to increase this area as part of the drainage easement over there. So what do I have to do? I have to put a catch basin right here. So what is a catch basin? It's kind of a square box, and all the culverts are going to go in inside that square box, and we're going to put a grate on it so all the water can drain into it. But we're going to do a cast in place, and I'm going to give you a before and after on this. So we're going to actually dig this out, build up an actual basin. It's going to be a cast in place, which means rather than a pre-cast that I order from some supplier and have delivered it and craned it in, we're actually going to frame it up, put rebar in there, and then kind of a cast in place and get it approved. And we're going to pour it. Once it's done, we'll be able to grade up, and this will be the drainage for this drive and also part of the drive up here. And the key to this whole thing, which we'll do in the after, is getting the proper elevation. So I don't want this drainage catch basin higher than the garage. I want it probably between 4 and 6 inches below the garage, so I've got a positive slope. But I also know that the street's going to be redone. They're going to put 4 inches of road base plus 2 inches of asphalt, so we're talking another 6 inches. So I got to juxtapose that. I got to make sure that this drain catch basin is the right elevation. So that's the trick that we're going to be working on. So this is the before, kind of a mess before. And notice I got another boulder. That's a nice boulder. So I'm not going to move that boulder. We're just going to hammer it out. All I have to do is come down about 4 inches and I'll be below the grade of the road base, and the asphalt will go right over it. So if you don't have to move it, don't move it. So we'll see you on the other side of this one. Okay, we're back at that catch basin. Now we've got most of it boxed in and framed, which is kind of complicated. The trick with this whole thing is getting the right elevation. All right, so we had to struck a line with the garage over there because I wanted the catch basin to be below the garage. I didn't want it to be above the garage. So if this overflows, I don't want to have any backing into the garage itself. Plus, I have a natural crest of the street here. I talked with the county, and the county told me that the new pavement is coming in. So the road base underneath the asphalt is 6 inches, and then we're going to have about 2 inches of asphalt on top of that. So with the height of this grade and the height of the garage over there, I'm trying to strike a balance. All right. Most of the catch basin is in my property, so I had to deal with it. I could fight, and I could see an argument where the county should have put this culvert straight from that property into this property where the drainage easement was. But you'll find that a lot of times these older subdivisions, you'll find that when they're putting in culverts and putting in roads and kind of cutting in streets and stuff like that, they probably put the culvert here because it was a natural basin right here, rather than put it in its defined area, rather than dig out over there to put in a catch area or kind of a catch basin for the culvert. They just kind of got lazy and put it at an angle this way. And so that was something that wasn't caught. That was something that wasn't even thought about when the subdivision was being put in. So now I'm having to deal with it. You can push back on permitting offices and all you want. Sometimes they might say, tell you what, this is kind of a co-creation situation. We created part of this, and the developer created part of this, and so we'll help you out a little bit. But most of the time, you won't find that to be the case. Even though this was approved the culvert was originally approved outside of its proper easement. That's a fault that was done a long time ago, and I'm the kind of guy that I don't want to fight it. Some people will fight it. It's just says, tell me what to do. So I had it designed. I'll show you here the design I had based upon the specs that I wanted, the specs that they wanted. They wanted an 8-inch thick wall with rebar. And I couldn't do a precast system, which is where you order and it comes off the truck and then they set it in place. I couldn't do it that way because I have two culverts here offset from each other on top of each other. And then I have this culvert, which is a larger culvert, which is going to go right into the box that way. I couldn't have a precast made exactly the way I wanted. So this is called a cast in place drain basin. And they just wanted a grate on the top so that if they needed to, they could take the grate off and you'll see it on the finished product, and then clean it out if they need to, put the grate on it so you can drive on it and that kind of stuff. So we're going to finish this next week. Hopefully, if the fire calms down, hopefully we'll get this finished next week and poured, and then we can start to backfill it. And I'm hoping they'll get back on the road and get the road done. We'll get this asphalted and be done with this project. Again, giving you the process of it and what you go through, and a lot of it's back and forth with our permitting office to make sure that they're okay with it and that it works for you. So just piece of advice, don't fight with your permitting offices. Stand your ground, give them your case, be genuine about it, but don't be angry and bitter and say, you're an nincompoop, you did this, you've come solve it. When you start saying you and pointing the finger at people, it gets to be a real nightmare. Try to stand your ground and see what they can do to help you out. All right. So again, we'll give you the after on this and show you when it's all finished, but we do have it mostly framed up, ready to go. Okay, we're now at the final stage of this. We backfilled. You can see some of the culvert that's over there that's not backfilled. And I haven't backfilled over here because we're going to drill a hole into the catch basin to capture some rain gutters on the local property here. But we did finish it off, and this was a long, kind of a headache. I wish I didn't have to go through this one. One of the keys to this whole thing to be successful here is I've got a big 24-inch culvert coming this way, and I have two 17-inch culverts going this way. Well, the bottom one, we added 4 bags of cement. That was sweaty and that wasn't fun to do, but we did it so that we could lift the bottom of the catch basin so that when water runs into it, it goes right into the bottom of the bottom culvert. So that way I don't have any water settling in here. I didn't want water to be puddling or settling in here. It'd be a great place for fleas and mosquitoes and all that kind of stuff. So you'll see at the bottom there, we did put that, raise the bottom up so it's right at the bottom of the bottom culvert. So it's going to exit and go that way. So I'm happy it's done. Wasn't fun to do. I don't recommend doing this, but I'm glad I did it so I can show you what I did. So we have one last thing we're going to put on here. It's an 1.5 inch grate. I've been bidding those out. I've seen those as high as $5,000, some as low as $1,100, and it has to hold a car, and it has to have the ability for a bicycle to run over that. So when we get the asphalt put in, I'll do that in another video, and I'll show you what the grate will look like. And again, we put this at the right elevation, just 2 or 3 inches below the crest of the street, and we're about 3 inches below the garage pad over there. So I do have a positive slope into the catch basin. So anyway, it's all done.